You know, the B-Boy stance deals with politics sometimes. So I want to get this out before the people vote on November 5th. Don't be an idiot and vote for Donald Trump. Thanks for watching. If you don't think your president should be above the law, like and subscribe. Let's be clear. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. I'm voting against Donald Trump and everything he's about. I keep saying that if she was more out front as vice president, making moves and being a bulldog for the people, like she was when she was in the prosecutor's office, Kamala Harris would have more of a name and a reputation behind her. But nonetheless, I would vote for a dirty sweat sock before voting for Donald Trump. First of all, I'm 99.9% sure Kamala Harris won't use her power to go after the enemy from within, which would be anyone who disagrees or criticizes her. But Trump will. He explicitly said he would go after Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff if reelected, and that's just for starts. If Kamala Harris was president, I have no doubt that she would leave the White House with no problem if she lost the election 4 years from now. I can't say the same thing about Trump. Mr. Everything is rigged against me. He can't even give you a straight answer right now if he can accept the results of this election. He told people at one of his rallies, vote for me and it'll be the last time you have to vote. You know why? That's his way of saying if he gets in the White House again, he ain't leaving, and you better believe him. It's mind-boggling how I keep hearing right-wing media and Republicans criticizing Kamala Harris for not having any policy to address the country's concerns. But that's bullshit because every time she's interviewed, she talks about money for people to buy houses, lowering taxes for middle and lower class citizens, going after corporations for price gouging, and lowering the price on groceries and gas. And yes, border security. Meanwhile, every time these same critics are asked about, okay, what's Donald Trump's policy? What's his plan for the American people? They literally don't even try to answer the question and go right into, well, Vice President Harris didn't secure the border. She let millions of violent immigrants into the country. It's like, okay, I see you want to answer the questions that you want to answer, and that's another topic, and we'll talk about that another time. But tell me, right now, what's Donald Trump's plan? What's his policy? And they literally have nothing. They just attack. They use a bunch of scary talk and crazy isolated stories of immigrants breaking the law. But they get that from Trump. That's part of Trumpism, as it's called now. And MAGA. Attack. Be mean. Call names. Be mean. Be tough. Scare tactics. No smiling. No one's happy. If you look at a Trump rally, it ain't nothing but stand-up insult comedy for his audience. He keeps calling Kamala Harris stupid and an airhead, which is like the most juvenile insult you could throw at anybody. Meanwhile, he canceled the second debate against this quote-unquote airhead. Why would he do that? Wouldn't it be easy to debate an airhead? Recently, he's gotten even more vulgar with his insults, but he sounds petty and childlike. Trump is a bully, and I hate bullies. Why would you vote for a bully? At this point, Trump is just trying to stay out of jail, and that's the biggest part of his motivation to be president again. Don't you understand that? Another thing that irks me about Trump supporters is how they really believe that he's for them, like he's blue collar. They can't tell that he's not for them. He's never been for them. He's for the rich. He's been rich all his life. He has a history of not paying his vendors from back in the 80s and even all the way up till now, not paying cities for some of the rallies that he loves to throw. Yo, did you know that those rallies cost a lot of money to do? Well, sometimes Donald Trump doesn't pay. He's been screwing over middle and lower class people almost all his life, and now he's playing all of y'all like a flute. Yeah, your stupid ass think he's for the working class. He let slip recently how he used to hate paying overtime to his employees. Does that sound like someone down with the working class, you idiot? The other day, when he staged that photo op at that closed down McDonald's with the hand-picked customers, they asked him point blank about raising the minimum wage, He gave some bullshit answer about how he knows the people work hard and people working hard out here. Instead of just saying loudly, yes, and I have a plan for that, like Kamala Harris did. You know, Trump's not a real businessman. You know that, right? I mean, not like he played on The Apprentice. That was reality television, and it was highly staged. Everything was written and scripted. Yo, one of the NBC marketing execs that promoted The Apprentice came out and actually apologized for doing such a good job of making Trump look like a brilliant businessman. Like, the man literally feels guilty for doing his job. He had no idea that in the process, he was making Trump look like a legitimate businessman in the minds of millions of idiots. And you know what? I shouldn't call y'all idiots. The man right there is acknowledging the power of media and television, just like we talk about on the B-Boy Stance a lot. The power of music and television can deceive and mislead even the most savvy amongst us. So I'm going to stop calling you idiots. So I'll just say only a truly deceived person would vote for a fake reality star businessman for president. The same right-wing motherfuckers, mind you, that criticized Barack Obama for only being a community organizer, voted for a fake reality star businessman that has never held a public office on any level in his entire life. And you know what? That includes the people that voted for Trump the first time. I'm sorry, you have since converted, but you too are responsible for him continuing to politically exist, because you just had to toe the party line back then, even when you knew Trump was a toxic buffoon. You know what? I won't call y'all stupid, but I'll say Americans got a short memory. You know what I do? I like to go back and watch documentaries on Frontline, on PBS, about the Trump years. You'll be reminded of the chaos, the constant aggression. Everybody was tough. You couldn't be on Trump's cabinet unless you were tough. You'll be reminded of the scandals, like when Trump sided with Putin over his own intelligence agencies. You'll be reminded of how he tried to get the head of the FBI under his wing, and he ended up firing him for investigating Trump and Russia, even though they tried to blame it on something else. Yeah, Trump beat the charges. They didn't find any collusion that they could prove with Russia. But you know what his ignorant, crooked ass did? Wannabe dictator Donald Trump. Right after that, he held a private meeting in the White House with 2 Russian diplomats, with only Russian press invited to take pictures. No U.S. press was allowed. And this isn't fake news or TD fucking S. These things actually really happened. You know, intelligence agencies are reporting that other countries are meddling with our election again, but not in the ways that you think. They're in the comment sections of the news articles. They're posting fake news stories on social media. They're reportedly encouraging violence on election day, and they want to see our country in a state of confusion. They all know how easily influenced we are because we're already divided, and it's all because they see the effects of Trumpism and how it has compromised the truth, weakened our democracy, and has made lying a part of politics more than any other time in American history. So don't fall for these tricks and don't vote for Donald Trump.